It took a little while to get here, but it's here now.
If you thought we weren't going to get hit, you thought wrong. And more is coming.
We're tracking the path of this storm as it sends blowing snow through our state.
Where the snow's piling up and how much fell in your area.
The National Guard continues search and rescue missions as road conditions are still treacherous at this hour.
Rescue crews are busy up and down the Front Range tonight, going incredible lengths to keep drivers safe.
Thousands who stayed home could be going to sleep without power.
Heavy snow taking down trees and power lines. The effort to get lights back on for families tonight.
School cancellations continue to roll in, but not everyone is getting a snow day.
What you need to know before you head out in the morning, our team has you covered. Snowpocalypse 2021, the March blizzard, winter storm Xylia, whatever you want to call this, we can all agree on one thing. This storm was no joke, and we are still seeing those dangerous conditions outside.
We continue to monitor the radar. The I-25 corridor is still under a blizzard warning until at least midnight tonight. And things are so bad, and Elbert County has not declared a state of emergency.
And several highway closures remain in effect. Some have been in place for more than 10 hours. I-70 westbound at Floyd Hill remains closed. I-70 out east to the Kansas border also closed. Another road closure we're monitoring is along I-25 between Colorado Springs and Castle Rock, and I-25 from Wellington to the Wyoming border also remains closed.
As you can imagine, this morning commute will not be fun coming up in just a few hours. CDOT is working to get the main roads cleared, but getting out of your neighborhood, that's going to be tough. DIA got 24.1 inches of snow, the fourth largest accumulation on record.
Some school districts are already calling tomorrow a snow day. And sorry, kids, others are opting for remote learning.
Denver Public Schools, Boulder Valley, Littleton Schools, students in those districts will enjoy a snow day tomorrow. However, Jeffco Public Schools is holding a remote learning day. Other districts like Cherry Creek and Dougco schools are already on spring break. We have a full list of those schools running at the bottom of your screen.
Tonight, our entire team is tracking these conditions. Our CB Cotton looking at the heroic rescues of stranded drivers.
Lance Hernandez monitoring power outages, and we'll check in with traffic expert Jason Luber. He's monitoring the roads and what you need to know ahead of the morning commute.
And we give credit to our team of meteorologists. They predicted this storm. They warned us to be ready, and all weekend they've been updating us on this blizzard's track.
Let's kick things off right now with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. Mike, what can we expect tonight and into the early morning hours?
Well, I have some good news. Weather conditions are improving. Let me show you a time lapse out at City Park this afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock. And you see as we roll through it, the visibility as we get later into the evening is improving as this storm system begins to wind down. You can see it on the radar loop. We're still in that swirling motion around the low pressure system that is now exiting into Kansas. There's still a few more hours of snow, but it's lighter than it's been here, although still heavier out in the eastern plains. They're getting a pretty good snowstorm now. Washington County, Yuma County, mixed with a little bit of rain out near the Kansas border, down into Kit Carson and northern Lincoln County. As far as the warnings that we have currently in effect, the areas in orange, blizzard warning till midnight at least. They might lengthen that a bit. Winter weather advisory till 6 a.m. in the eastern plains. Avalanche and winter storm warnings in effect tonight in the mountains. There is the low pressure system exiting into Kansas, the wind swirling around it, and we still have a lot of wind, anywhere from about 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained with gusts to 40. With that and the temperatures falling, the wind chills right now are down into the teens around the area. They'll drop to the single digits to near zero overnight. So here's your timeline on this. The snow diminishing, but stay off the roads. A very slow commute. I do have some 60s coming up in the 7-day, but first things first, let's look at the numbers on this snowstorm with Stacey Donaldson.
Some incredible snow numbers here over the last 24 hours. And this is the fourth biggest snowstorm in Denver. Out at DIA is where we get the readings from. 24.1 inches for us today. But the biggest snowstorm, 45.7 in 1913, 31.8 in 2003, and 30.4 inches in 1946. Now, some of these snowfall totals are just incredible. Aspen Springs, the winner here at 40.3 inches, 36 inches in Cheyenne and in Netherland, 30 for Genesee, Thornton at 22.2 and 20 for Georgetown. Now, throughout the metro area, just about everybody overtook a foot of snow. Northwest Arvada, 23 inches, 21 for Golden, and right around 17 from North Glen to Westminster into East Denver. So you may have more in your neighborhood than what you're seeing here, but we're still having some of these snowfall totals recorded. So we'll continue to update them for you, and we'll talk more about your forecast tomorrow coming up.
All right, thank you, Stacy. And on the roads today, we faced icy conditions, blowing snow, massive drifts, making it a very tough road to navigate.
Many ended up going off the road or hitting a snow drift and then needing rescued.
Denver7 CB Cotton joins us live. CB, rescuers had to roll out the heavy equipment today.
They certainly did, Jacqueline. And right now here in Denver, the snowfall has slowed down quite a bit, but those gusts of wind will certainly chill you right to your core. And take a look at these roadway conditions. We're here on 7th Avenue. All of this snow provides little to no traction, and it will make for a difficult morning commute. So if you can work from home, that's something you're going to want to strongly consider. With a little bit of traveling we've had to do, the roadways, I can tell you they're a place you do not want to be right now. But if you won't take my word for it, watch these rescues that happened all across the Front Range. Over the past 48 hours, as conditions changed, people braced for a weekend of uncertainty.
I woke up, didn't see any snow, came to work just fine, and then, saw that it was going to start later in the day. So just kind of wondering how much we're going to get.
But come Sunday, she wouldn't have to. A stalled RTD bus in downtown and snowmobiles meant the blizzard had arrived, causing headaches in the metro. And even more problems further north, like Adams County, where Denver7 tagged along with a search and rescue team. The job, no easy task when snow and ice provide little traction. But cars eventually able to break free. Meanwhile, over in Aurora, the heavy downpour kept police busy as they responded to stranded drivers. Some families were rescued in SWAT vehicles. And at one point, Aurora police tweeting out that they were so overwhelmed, they could only respond to calls where people were unable to find shelter. Many of us learned that no matter when the snow arrives, you should stay off the road.
I'm marooned here for the night. I was supposed to go back home, but I decided to play it safe.
And opt to enjoy the weather on 2 feet.
I didn't know it was going to be a blizzard. So instead of driving my car from the hotel I'm staying at, I went ahead and just walked to meet my buddy up the street.
That is certainly a safer way to get around, put some bags on your shoes and take everything by foot if you choose to go out. At one point, Aurora police told me at 7:30 this evening they had 79 pending calls for stuck or stranded motorists. So certainly this ongoing situation has kept our first responders and street crews very busy, and we are so grateful for all of their hard work. Back to you all.
All right, CB, thank you so much. We want to bring in our traffic expert, Jason Luber, right now. He's been monitoring these road closures.
What a mess. And Jason, what everyone wants to know now, what's the morning commute going to look like?
Not good. Not good at all. And you saw behind CB all that snow that's over there. So you're going to have to dig your car out if you left it out overnight. And some of those areas are just going to be really, really tough to navigate, especially the neighborhoods. I want to take you to a couple different cameras. This is I-70 over at Sheridan on the west side of town. Total snow cover. And it's going to be expected to be like this on the overnight hours. Same thing, Alameda over top of I-25, even though I'm seeing just a little bit of blacktop there on I-25. This is out by the airport. We're still seeing some snow over at Tower Road and 56th Avenue. A couple of live cameras for you. One down in Inglewood on Broadway. Take a look at that camera right just north of Hamden, and you can see how much snow cover is there, so that's still going to be a bit of an issue trying to get around some of those side streets. Take a look at the drive that we have over there in Boulder. It actually doesn't look too bad for us, just wet and sloppy with a lot of slush for us to deal with up there at Broadway and Canyon. So let me get to some of the closures that we're still dealing with right now. I-70, the big one, out to the east, E-470 all the way out to Kansas. I-76 has been an abysmal mess, and we still have some folks that are stuck up that way. So Brighton to Sterling, that's still closed down. Still closed down I-25 going up into Wyoming, as Wyoming mostly is closed down. So is parts of Nebraska and Kansas. I-25, still parts of that are closed down south of Castle Rock. And the good news is that we have I-70 now reopened, trying to go west of Denver. This I-70 drive just opened in the last few minutes, trying to go from Golden up to Floyd Hill. Still very treacherous conditions tonight into tomorrow morning. I'll be here starting at 4:30 for all of those road conditions.
All right, thank you so much, Jason. And right now, this wet, heavy snow has been also hard on power lines. More than 35,000 Coloradans are in the dark as crews work to get power restored.
Denver7's Lance Hernandez joins us now. Lance, people are trying to make the best of this situation.
They really are, and some are succeeding. A lot of them are not. You know, XL Energy telling us tonight that customers in northern Colorado need to be prepared for power outages to persist throughout the night because of blizzard conditions. They say they have crews, and other power companies have crews out in the field, but they are facing some very real challenges. Residents shaking snow from trees to keep branches from breaking, damaging homes or power lines. This work crew had their hands full trimming trees in North Boulder today. 24 homes in that neighborhood were without power for hours.
For us, it's kind of difficult because we're on well and septic, so we need power in order to have water here.
Tens of thousands still without power tonight. Power crews are working through the night, but the process is more difficult in the dark and with wind. It's been like this for 2 days. On Saturday, we were interviewing a family from Kansas City who came to Colorado for spring break.
Your reaction to this big monster storm?
In the middle of our interview, the power went out on the Pearl Street Mall. Heavy snow reducing visibility, making it difficult for CDOT crews and power line crews to work. Many Coloradans doing what this family did when their power went out. They donned skis, grabbed a toboggan, and hit the road.
We're gonna ski down to a friend's that has power and enjoy that.
They're lucky to have some good friends that they can come over and visit when the power goes out. We're live over here on Larimer Street. You can see how heavy and wet the snow is. A couple of snow plows just went by a little bit earlier, and one of those plows ended up cycling through one of the traffic lights because it got stuck here. It is still treacherous out this evening, so be careful. Reporting live in Denver, Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
Stay safe out there, Lance. All right, thank you so much. A heads up for backcountry skiers. An avalanche warning is in place through tomorrow morning on the Front Range as snow continues to pile up. Most of the mountain areas are facing considerable avalanche danger at this moment. Right now, part of Highway 14 is shut down because of small avalanches west of Rustic. Loveland Fire Rescue Authorities says people living nearby need to stay vigilant. And there's a live look at the roads right now. You can see that anything that is not a main road, not really getting cleared at this point. It's going to be very tough driving around. Be very careful if you're going to be out there tonight or in the morning. It's going to look very similar to this. We'll be right back.
Denver7 Morning News covering winter weather like no other local station. From snow totals to road conditions, wake up with Denver7 for complete winter weather coverage. Watch Denver7 News Monday morning starting at 4:30.